They called it a mistake the moment they saw it. A Porsche sitting in the corner of a forgotten garage, buried under dust, silence, and time. The kind of silence that doesn't just mean unused, but forgotten, like the world had already erased it. No one even bothered to walk around it properly. One look was enough for most people. Scrap it. That thing is beyond saving. Not worth a single dollar. But one man didn't leave. He stood there longer than anyone else. Not speaking, not reacting, just observing something others couldn't understand. Because while everyone saw a dead machine, he saw something else. A story that wasn't finished yet. And that decision would change everything. He bought it, quietly. No announcement, no attention. Just a transaction that most people thought was pointless. The moment it arrived at his workshop, even his own team went silent. It looked worse up close. The paint wasn't just faded, it was gone in places. The interior wasn't just damaged, it felt abandoned. And the engine, no one even wanted to turn it on at first. There was a long pause before anyone touched anything. Finally, someone asked a question everyone was thinking. Where do we even start? He didn't answer immediately. Because honestly, even he didn't know. But he knew one thing. You don't revive something like this by looking for perfection. You start by refusing to give up. So work began. Slow at first. Careful. Uncertain. Every bolt that came out felt like removing a piece of history. Every inspection revealed another problem hiding underneath the last one. What looked like a simple restoration quickly turned into something far more complicated. Days turned into weeks, and weeks started to feel like repetition. Fix something, discover another issue, replace a part, find another failure waiting behind it. At some point, progress stopped feeling like progress. It felt like resistance. Even the team started to lose confidence. This might be too far gone. No one argued anymore, because deep down, they were starting to believe it too. Except him. He stayed late when others left. He checked things twice when others stopped at once. He kept going when logic said stop. And slowly, something started to shift. Not in the car yet, but in him. The frustration turned into focus. The doubt turned into obsession. The project stopped being about saving a Porsche and started being about proving that not everything broken is finished. Then came the moment everything almost collapsed. The engine, the heart of the entire project. After days of preparation, cleaning, and rebuilding parts that hadn't moved in years, they tried to bring it back to life. Nothing. Again. Still nothing. A third attempt. A weak response, then silence. The garage filled with that kind of quiet that feels heavier than noise. Someone stepped back. This is it. It's not going to work. Even the air felt heavier after that sentence. But he didn't step back. He leaned in closer, checked everything again. Calm, controlled, like he was listening to something no one else could hear. One final adjustment, a moment of hesitation. Then the ignition. At first, nothing. A second passed. Then another. And then a sound. Weak at first. Rough. Unstable. But alive. And then it grew. Stronger. Louder. Real. The engine didn't just start. It fought back into existence. No one spoke. Because no one wanted to break the moment. After that day, everything changed. Momentum returned. Confidence came back. The project that once felt like a burden started feeling like a mission again. Now it wasn't about fixing damage. It was about finishing a transformation. Panels were restored with precision. Interior rebuilt with detail. Every piece started aligning like it remembered where it belonged. And slowly, the Porsche started disappearing as a broken object and reappearing as something else entirely. Something intentional. Something powerful. Something alive. Then came the final day. The reveal. The garage doors opened slowly, like the moment itself needed respect. And there it stood. Not the abandoned wreck people once laughed at. Not the impossible project people doubted, but something reborn. Clean lines. Perfect stance. Restored identity. A machine that no longer carried its past as damage, but as proof of survival. People who once mocked it stood quietly now. No jokes. No laughter. Just silence. Because the transformation didn't need explanation. It needed witness. And the man who built it didn't celebrate loudly. He just looked at it for a long time. Because sometimes the biggest victory isn't in changing what something is. It's in refusing to accept what everyone said it would always be. And in that moment, this Porsche wasn't just restored. It was redeemed. The garage was still echoing that final sound. That engine wasn't just running. It was breathing, rough, unstable, but real. He stepped back slowly, as if getting too close might break the moment. Everyone else stayed frozen, because they all knew the truth now. This wasn't a failed restoration anymore. It was a resurrection. Minutes passed. The sound slowly stabilized. The shaking softened. And for the first time in years, the Porsche wasn't fighting to survive. It was ready to move. The doors opened wider. Light poured in, and the car rolled forward, slowly at first, like it was learning how to exist again, then steady, then confident, out of the darkness, out of the dust, out of being forgotten, and into the world. Outside the garage, no one spoke, because what they were seeing didn't feel like a rebuild. It felt like time itself being reversed. The same people who once said, "Scrap it," now couldn't even meet each other's eyes, because the proof was right in front of them. Failure is never final, only accepted. The Porsche stopped, engine still running, alive, and for a moment, everything was quiet again. But this time, it wasn't the silence of something dead. It was a silence of something impossible. The man walked slowly around it, not smiling, not celebrating, just understanding what it took to reach this point, because he knew the truth no one else said out loud. The car was never the only thing rebuilt. He was too, and sometimes that's the real restoration.